Okay, so I did a little bit more cleanup with the mouse movements and uh, the scrolling. I ended up going with 40 frames per second, increasing it a little bit from what it was in the previous video, and I just backed off the speed a little. It seemed to be moving okay. And scrolling, I set to go 3 times as much as whatever that mouse is returning. That way there's a little bit to it. And then I set up the uh, controls to toggle the soft keyboard, which I kind of went down a rabbit hole at first. I started looking deeper and deeper into documentation, just how to open a program with Python, but the basic opening it wasn't quite working it because with Windows OSK, if you just say run the program, run the process, it it leaves it in the taskbar. It just puts that icon down here to open. So then I started going deeper and deeper into documentation, trying to find how to open it from the taskbar, and then suddenly I realized that that was kind of stupid. I was going about that way the wrong way because I have mouse functions is what I'm working in. So I just switched that to just I tracked down the pixels on the screen I needed and just switched to just click in those spots. So let's give this a quick test run and kind of look at how it's going. So I'm going to run basic control unit. And once this boots up, I'm going to move over and, okay. Oh, I added another message in describing that error message. So the mouse seems to be moving a little bit smoother. So I'm come down here and open Chrome. And just to test things, I'm going to turn on the keyboard. And notice with the mouse click way, it automatically moved the mouse down here by the keyboard where it needs to be. And the good shape hasn't come in yet, so it is still a little awkward doing this. So I'm going to search for something that's really long. So I'll look for Plato. There we go. I'll look for Plato's Wikipedia page. I know that's something that'll demonstrate, that'll have a nice long thing to scroll through. So click that. And it didn't happen that time, but I'm still kind of spamming the buttons occasionally. So I think I might need to work in some sort of speed control so that the speed on the button clicks slows down. So I increase that so it's 3 times as much so it can scroll faster or slower and have a lot of control over the scrolling to help look for stuff. The mouse seems to be moving around a little bit better. Still, I was still spamming the buttons a couple times. So flip that on to get the keyboard. And when I'm finished with the keyboard, I can just flip the toggle switch again and it clicks that button. It was supposed to click the button. It didn't seem to click there. Did I just move and not actually click? Let's go check the. Yeah, it was supposed to click there. So it's off. So I'll flip it on, which moves the mouse down there, opens the keyboard. When I flip the toggle switch off, there it goes. So it still misses it a couple times, still a little more cleanup, but it's moving along nicely. I can move the mouse around kind of smoothly, scroll up and down, and still some more refinements to go. And then, like we just saw, turn the keyboard on with the flip of the toggle switch, and then off when finished typing. So it looks like everything's moving along nicely, and the exit conditions here should still work. Oh. There you go. So the exit conditions are still working and everything seems to be coming along, but still a little more refinement to go. I just thought I'd update the progress and send a reminder that watch out for rabbit holes of more and more powerful things that you can use in the scripts when there might be easy ways to do it. The old KISS method, they keep it simple, uh, or kind of like Occam's razor. The simplest solution is usually the best solution. I had something very, very complicated in order to toggle through what was in the taskbar going at one point, and it was like, wait, I could just do mouse clicks. That's a whole lot simpler, and it added the convenience of putting my mouse down where it needs to be for that. So just a reminder about that, and kind of showing that there's some progress, but like always with coding and cleaning things up and getting it refined, it does take a little while. Okay, so since the last little scene of video, I've had several things that did not work out and were just deleted to start over, but had a couple. One big thing that did work out is I added in this variable to help avoid spamming the buttons, such as down here on the keyboard. It was, with the speed it was going at, it was really easy to like click once and get 3 or 4 different things going on. Whoops, didn't mean to rewrite that, but it was really easy to spam the buttons and click more than was needed. So I added this variable in so that whenever I click, I just check the current Unix epoch time and subtract it from the last time a button was clicked and made sure it was more than 150 milliseconds, which again, that'll be able to refine that later, find a good exact value, but just make sure it's been a bit of time since the last time the button was clicked. That way I don't spam it while hold it down for 3 or 4 passes at our, I guess, frame rate is what I've been calling it here. Every time through the loop. Don't want to keep clicking the button, just want to click it once and move on. So just a bit of a delay to make sure it's been this many milliseconds since the last time the button was clicked. And at that point, if it's been long enough, grab all of those, and if not, just say the button's not being clicked, even if it is currently being held down, if it just hasn't been long enough. That way it avoids spamming the clicks. And then when it does register a click, such as if button A registers a 1, which means it's being pressed, then it resets that last click time. Just a way to avoid spamming the buttons on the keyboard. So everything else is like it was. So if I run the basic control unit, run the script, let this reboot, there we go. So everything's still moving around kind of like it was. Been doing little bits of refinement. Some ideas have worked, some have not. But this is an important step because all of this stuff is a little easier than setting up a controller for a video game. And it really helps me to get a feel for the particular values coming back from the device itself and get an idea of what numbers I need to be working with and what I need to do with the numbers I have before getting to a more complicated video game. But let's take a quick look at the spamming the buttons thing. So I'll just do the same example I did the other day. Open up a web browser and turn the keyboard on. And with this on, I can come over here and search for, say, Play-Doh. There it is. So I'll turn the keyboard back off. Come up here, select that from the results. And the Wikipedia page, this is just something I know that there's lots and lots of scrolling to be done on this page to test this other feature once that pulls up. So we can scroll, have a lot of control, go very slowly or more rapidly, and have a lot of control over the scroll. The mouse seems to be working. I don't spam the buttons, so I can open new tabs or close both of these out. I guess that's enough for the test here. And I've been getting a feel for the numbers coming from the controller and what to do with them. Even on the things that didn't work, it's still progress before getting to the more complicated working this into a video game. Oh yeah, and the close function still works like it did. So everything seems to be coming along nicely, and I'll finish up this scene because the next scene has something exciting to show. So just as I was finishing up the last feature for mouse controls to get everything tested, the PCBs did come in. So ordered 5 of them initially to test with. So here would be the shape, and you see it matches just with the design. If we hold it up, you can see all the traces through there. The bottom side, the top side, have everything marked. So now it looks like I have a whole lot of soldering to do and get all of these pieces moved over here to test it. But it seems to be reasonable like I thought. So this thumb can reach the joystick here and all of the buttons. This thumb can handle the joystick here, the potentiometer knob, and it looks like I'll be able to reach the switch without much trouble. That'll probably be the last thing I solder on to see if it's better with the thumb or the index finger. And either thumb should have easy access to the slider down below there. So PCBs came in. Looks like exactly what was designed. So now a whole bunch of soldering to get this ready to more of a permanent setup, and hopefully everything's going to work as planned.